We became friends first,
We fell in love and got married.
and now we're starting a family together.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jeff and Jordan TV. I know I've been missing out a couple weeks. My lovely wife has been taking over for me. I've been a little busy, but I'm back today, and we're here to talk about my experience with the baby, what we're going through right now as parents, and just catching up with you guys, basically. For me, I know I've been missing, and I know you've been hearing a lot from Jordan, but
Yes.
a lot went down on my side that I didn't get to tell from my perspective of, you talked about the birth, but no one knows what I went through.
Exactly, and I'm sure a lot of guys out there who, husbands, boyfriends, whoever, who are with their wives in the delivery room would probably like to hear.
Yeah, and it
your
was,
side, too.
again, this was a C-section, as you guys all know already, so it was a little different. We got to time it, we got there at 7:30, you guys know the whole story. But for me, I'll give you guys the last couple minutes of the breakdown, what happens, okay? You go in the room, you put on the full gear with the doctor's hats, we both were in full gear, and they tell you, they're like, all right, man, they're doing a surgery right now, you got about 5 minutes, and you're like, wow. It's kind of like, I don't want to compare, this is LA, what are you going to do? It's kind of comparable to waiting in a waiting room before an audition or before you're about to go on stage for something. You hate that analogy. But it's true. So we're about to go in there and do our thing. Jordan goes in and gets prepped. They just keep me in the hallway, exactly like an audition. Just like, man, what's going on in there? You know what I mean?
And while he's waiting, I didn't get an epidural. I got something else. I don't know what it's called, but it's to numb you from your stomach down. So the whole time, he's waiting on me, and I'm kind of like, ooh, kind of loopy a little bit. And then I just remember Jeff coming in, and he's smiling, and he looks like he has these huge, big space pants on.
I thought
like
I told my side of the
astronaut.
story.
I know, I just had to cut in and say this. And I just remember it was like this big, bulky shirt and pants, and it was almost like he's like, all right, ready for the football team. He was like, he sits down real fast. He's like, okay, how are you, love? Just like talking to me.
I'm sticking with my audition analogy.
Okay, continue.
If you guys want to see Jordan's part, go back a couple weeks. She talks about it by herself. You guys don't have to hear me. Anyways, I'm in the hallway. Another couple's behind the curtain. They just had a baby. I'm in my astronaut suit, as Jordan said, my big doctor outfit. It was like a Halloween costume 10 times too big. I'm just on the phone, just waiting, oh my God, I'm about to have a baby right now. So it was the same nerves. They're just waiting. The doctor's going back and forth. The doctor was watching clips of herself on TV. She's like, oh, check out this segment that I did. So they're she's texting and stuff, which wasn't bad in my eyes. I was like, oh my God, she's so relaxed. She's about to do surgery. And they're laughing and, having a good time.
My doctor.
Yeah. But it kind of put me at ease. And they're like, all right, Jeff, let's go. And I didn't know how to tie the thing on my face. I'm going in there, it's all crooked. I go in there, Jordan's straight, knocked out. There's a big, the curtain so you can't see what's going on. And basically, we did what we did. Jordan was kind of out of it, but I heard what was going on in there. And there was the baby came out a little backwards. Again, I know you guys know all this story, but came out a little backwards. Everything was okay. And right when the baby came out, the doctor's like, get your phone ready, here it goes. And I just jumped over, and there it was.
He's big. Come get a closer picture.
1 minute.
Oh my goodness.
1 minute he's gone, right?
And a lot of people ask me too, did you see Jordan's scar? Because she had a C-section. Not a scar at this point. It was actually the open part. But for me, it wasn't gross. Everyone's story is different. I was so focused on Lawson and the baby and that he was okay and what he looked like that I didn't even see anything else. I didn't see... That's all I was focused on. So my eyes were on him, and they immediately took him over and started cleaning him. And they're like, "Come over and get the picture with the baby." And they were like they do it every day or something.
He was really good about that because he would take a picture, walk over, and then come back over to me and be like, "Look, love," and then walk back over, and then walk back over to me. Look, and then I was.
So I get a video and then run back and be like, "This is what he looks like," and Jordan's laying there. She's like, "Oh, that's nice," and then back out. But it was a magical moment, and it was almost a month ago now, and I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. But I just wanted to catch you guys up a little bit on my side of what I went through, just a piece of what I went through for the birth of our first child. So it was amazing.
It's crazy to even think about how it's only been a month since Lawson's been born. Time is flying by. And I mean, everybody always tells you, enjoy the moment because it is going to fly by. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it already has. I'm already noticing him changing, like certain onesies that didn't really fit him. Now he's like filling out. It's awesome.
The best advice that I could give anybody, because we've always asked for your advice of what to do as your parents, you have to go through it yourself.
Yeah.
You could read as many books as you want, and people could tell you as many stories as you want to hear. People will tell you all day. My advice is you have to go through it. Everybody goes through it differently. We didn't know the first night. I was like, it was a bad one. Luckily, we were in a hospital. It wasn't bad in the sense like it was like, what do? We were so nervous as parents. This baby's crying. I don't know what to do. 1 month later, I know to flip him backwards, put him this way. I know what he wants. I mean, I'm not telling you everything's perfect, but everything's going to be all right, is what I'm trying to tell you, only a month in. But back to, I think now, the baby side, we're getting down. We're getting onto a routine. Now it's us that we need to work on.
Exactly.
So we're taking your advice if you guys got any advice.
It is, because a lot of times you think that you picture perfect. You have your baby, you're married, and then, it's rainbows. But it's a job. It's a lot of work. And a lot of times, before Lawson came, it's like we would go to the movies, or we would sit here and we had our shows that we watched on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, let's say. And now it's like, okay, I know I need to watch this earlier because I know he's going to wake up in 2 hours and I'm going to go to bed with him. And it's just a big change. And it's, I think, more communicating with each other. My hormones are out of whack again and kind of just like a roller coaster. And so I take a lot of things out on him. I think I cry at everything. He made dinner the other night, and I got so mad that he made dinner. And I started crying, and I left and went with my mom to a restaurant to eat because I was like, he knew I wanted to get out of the house. Why did he make dinner? He just did it to be mean. So then I'm like,
That's
crying.
a true story, by the way.
That's a true story.
With all the emotions I think that a woman goes through, which I don't know, but is very, very real, I think it takes a toll on you, and it takes a toll on your relationship, but not in a way that you're going to break up in any sense, that you aren't doing the things that she was just saying like you used to do. You can't just go to the movies. You can't just go out to dinner. But those are all part of the learning curve. That's what you have to do in life to move to the next level. And I think we're both trying to wrap our heads around that right now.
Well, it's just an adjustment. It's, because now he's here. And I think before I didn't realize, I know this sounds silly, I'm like, my life isn't going to change that much. He's coming into our life. It's fine. But now I'm finding out, like,
he's coming into our life. He'll adjust.
yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, it's fine. He'll just learn our way of things. And it's like, no, it's not. And it's totally different than what I was thinking. And it's a lot more. So it's kind of like you have to readjust your relationship a little
Who knew
bit.
babies didn't like pizza? I didn't know, right? We love pizza. We just assumed he would like it.
But too, it's harder because it's like sometimes
My jokes
too
don't go
when
over so
you're when you're tired, and then he's like, well, why is he doing this? I'm like, well, I don't know. Why is he doing this? And then it becomes a fight. So it's kind of like you have to talk about things. Like the other night we went out to dinner. My mom watched him for the first time, and it ended up, we started talking about Lawson and the baby and then us, and then it ended up being an argument.
It was like a volcano waiting to erupt. And
it
was just like,
erupted.
we walked there with the lava steaming hot, and all of a sudden we each had a drink, and then Vesuvius all over the place.
He told his point. I
That's a
told my
volcano.
point. I know that.
You do?
Yes. And then we got to fighting, and then the dinner was ruined, and then it was like, let's go home. This is
First of all,
no
dinner.
fun.
We went to the corner bar and had a chicken sandwich and watched football. So let's
It
not
was
make it seem
dinner.
like I picked you up in a horse and carriage.
It
We
was
just need to
dinner.
listen. The point we're trying to make is you need to blow off some steam. I knew that was coming, but we needed it. Don't you feel like things are better after you got to get to this boiling point and just let it go. I don't know how to handle things. We're all new to this. She definitely doesn't think I know how to handle things. So we're still working out these things, and it's going to be great to talk through it with you guys to see week to week how we progress. Hopefully don't degress. We're going to keep it half full, right, love? That's what we're working on.
Because with my hormones, That's like, I'm sure every woman has done this to their husband. I'm like, well, why did we even get married? Maybe we should have talked about this stuff before we got married. Maybe blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh my God. He's like, you're crazy right now. You are crazy. And then I'm serious.
It's a different kind of crazy than just normal woman crazy. And I know I'm going to take a lashing for this. This is another level of crazy. So it's not like I could be like, I want to videotape you and show you how crazy you are. If I did that, I would get a punching right in the mouth. Well, you can't handle things. It's
funny now, laughing about it, because he's just like, do you hear yourself? This is just the point of just crazy.
I don't see. I think she hears things a little differently. I don't know if I've ever said that.
Well, it was, and then I was like, I'm not crazy, and then I'm like tearing up, and then he's like, okay, listen, you're doing a great job, and I know when Jeff does that, he's trying to back down because I'm like getting really like emotional and steamy a little bit.
Because to be honest, she really doesn't have any valid points. I'm just trying to dance around the obvious. You know what I mean? Sorry, but it's true. It's like, listen, we just have to. I'm a kind of guy. It's like I like to face something head on. Let's just deal with this. And Jordan more likes to dance around things and see what I'm doing. I'm digging a hole here. I'm digging a hole, and I need to get out of it. So you have a good point there. The bottom line here is everybody goes through things differently, and some of you might think that we're the perfect couple out there, and that's just how it's perceived on TV or whatever. And this show, I think, shows you that we're not, and it's real. And we had problems with the baby. We're going to continue to have problems with the baby, but we're going to go through it as a couple. So if you guys are having problems at home, if you just have a baby, I understand. And if you guys have some advice for us, this is where the part that we like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think we should do? Take more date nights? Try to get out more? Like, what do you guys suggest we do at this point 1 month into the relationship? Because I know there's problems, but we're working through them.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes time, and I think it's like I said, it's work. You both have to work on it, and I think if one person isn't helping you or isn't helping you work on your relationship, it's not going to work. You both have to constantly be working, and like people say, it's like a job, right?
I get it. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's a lot going on in the first month with the hormones and the stress of having a baby and transforming your life around and the sleep deprivation. So it's all that bottled into one. I see it from the outside, talking to you guys, I see that. But when you're going through it, it's not so easy to see those things,
right.
You know, and you get frustrated and you have to go out and vent with your friend. And so lucky you have your mom here to vent to. When I go to the gym, I'm sure you guys get some good jabs in at me.
Well, if you have any funny stories of like what I just said with you being all emotional and yelling at your husband, I love to read that stuff because it just makes me laugh and it just makes me feel more normal. But yes.
And guys, if you have any stories of you eating ice cream in the dark with a tear running down your face trying to catch up on what happened in the game and you're just crying in your ice cream bowl and nobody cares, I'd like to hear your stories too.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, okay, so
I have emotions too. It's right there.
All you guys have been talking about wanting to see Lawson. So,
should I go get him?
Yeah.
All right. He's sleeping.
So cute.
And poo farting.
No. So to all of you on YouTube that have been asking, all the comments on Instagram, let's see Lawson. We want to see you guys together.
Welcome to YouTube, baby Lawson. This is his very first appearance.
Lawson.
He's tired. He's been sleeping, so.
He's been very good this morning.
There's only one time to make a first-time impression, so you better get big. That was his big move. He took a bow. But that's Lawson. We're so proud of him. We love him so much. I'm so that dad that shows pictures and like loves him so much. He's the best.
I know, Jeff, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and Jeff's got him, he's talking to him. He's like, oh, hi, Papa. Hi. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm a proud papa. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to us. Again, please give us your advice. Give us your take on things, what we should do next. And we're going to be back here next week as a couple, trying to roll in some new clips for you guys, trying to get out there in the world a little bit more and share our story even more with you guys. But until next week, hopefully you guys have a better week than we do. We'll see you next time.
Bye.